Well, hello and welcome to Wednesday's Devotional again. And today I want to talk about something I feel we need in today's time and something that is lacking at the same time, and that is humour. What makes you laugh? I know over and over again I've heard the question about Jesus and, did Jesus laugh? Well, I think it's laughable to think that Jesus didn't laugh. Number one, he was a human being, and if we are made in the nature of the image of God, well, laughing is part of our character, isn't it? And it's something that makes us feel good. I mean, what's your definition of joy? Is laughter not part of joy? And let's look, I guess, more closely at some of the things that Jesus said. Jesus used hyperboles, and don't you think it's funny that he would say in the story of the rich man that it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of the needle? I mean, it's absurd, isn't it? Now, that's a sense of humour. I mean, there's other times where Jesus had, I wouldn't say sarcastic jabs at the Pharisees, but he had many different responses, which really come across sometimes as quite funny rather than as much as that they're true. But I guess the favourite comment from Jesus I found was hilarious was found in John chapter 5, where he has had a conversation with the Pharisees. And he talks about them being someone that studies the scriptures diligently, and yet he's saying to them, for people that know the scriptures so well, you don't even recognize the one that they've been talking about, that you've been reading and studying your whole life. And guess what? I'm standing in front of you right now. That's really funny. That's a great sense of humour. I think in today's times we need to maybe deliberately tap into our humour. It's something that isn't coming easy. And I had a little conversation with a group of people today, and I asked them about what makes them laugh, and out of the 7 people, 5 of them said something that made them laugh, but they always ended up with sort of something that's frustrating them or bothering them in the world. I think we're just at a time where we're taking humour for granted, that it's something that comes, and I especially know as someone who's gotten older now at this stage of my life, I don't find things as funny as I did when I was younger. I'm much more serious. So there's a deliberate need, I think, to create humour and keep humour in your life. For me, what time of humour will I like? Well, I fell in love with this series here, when it first came out in the 90s, and I have every episode plus the bloopers. It's really normal everyday humour, I think, of things that happen in your life, and there's a bit of exaggeration. And also when I was younger, I guess as much as it's, a little bit naughty in a way, is but clean at the same time. The carry-ons. It's just to give an example of 2 of things that make me laugh. But let me say that when we're talking about joy is something that comes with having a good time and fun. And I remember C.S. Lewis said that the purest laughter on earth dwells in the kingdom of joy, meaning that it just should be a really good experience for you when you're walking with the Spirit. I mean, if Jesus didn't have a great sense of humour, if he wasn't a really good guy to be around, you really think thousands of people would come to listen to him speak, say Sermon on the Mount, for example? I mean, if he was a person that was really hard to get on, that didn't have a good sense of humour, he was light in sort of normal conversation, I mean, 12 disciples walked around with him for 3 years. And remember, there was other disciples as well. They were the inner circle. There was other disciples on the outer. I also remember G.K. Chesterton, the theologian, said that joy is the gigantic secret of the Christian faith. Well, you know what? Let's not make it a secret. Joy means many different things, and there's many different ways we can get humour into our life. I mean, it's from reading something funny or watching a TV show, but just, looking at life, observing life, it can be funny. I mean, we laugh at people's misfortunes at times, all done in good favour. When someone falls over or falls into a puddle or trips up or something, we don't want them to get hurt. But there's humour in everything that we do in life, and I think that we've got to have an intentional practice now to lighten up, to tune into what gives us some release from the hard times that are around us aren't going anywhere. And we have to live in those. Humour is not just a way of escaping. Humour is a way of dealing with these harder times. It's just looking through a different lens, isn't it? It's a way that you can have these hard times and put a light spin on it. Because in the truth is, for most of us in these hard times, I guess, God bless, we won't get coronavirus. It's very rare to get it, especially around our area. Big chance that we won't get it. And it's really sad to see people do get it and obviously pass on. But, we have a responsibility as people who share the gospel to remain people who are approachable, people who have a good outlook on life, and, to be people that, show the joy of why they are Christian. That is a classic way of how people may come to you and ask you about your faith. It's about your cheeriness. I think it's all related to humour. I guess my encouragement for you is to do something or look at something funny every day, or especially when it's just not all about work and bills. Do something to break the bonds of seriousness that this world can hold us down with. Because Jesus was a funny guy, and God gave us humour. Been great to connect again with you. Continue to be COVID safe, but do it with a bit of a laugh and a bit of a smile. God bless you today and for all the rest of the time until we meet again. Amen.